You're making a big mistake.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Star Wars mistakes Disney wants you to forget.
Everything's under control, situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine, we're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
For this list, we'll be going over the blunders, mistakes, or controversies in Star Wars shows or films which parent company Disney would probably rather stay out of the spotlight. If there's a recent mishap in Star Wars we were mistaken to leave off our list, please help us rectify it in the comments. Number 10. Director problems. Various. It's no secret that the Disney era of Star Wars has had a major problem with directors, namely with keeping them around.
I hate you. I know.
Directors have been let go from films like Solo, an unproduced Boba Fett film, as well as Colin Trevorrow, who was famously dropped from Episode 9.
A Jedi's weapon deserves more respect.
The exact reasons likely vary on a case-by-case basis, but the most common factor reported seems to be that most aren't willing to go along with Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy. Some fans would probably characterize this as a Lucasfilm or a Kennedy problem rather than a director problem, and they have. But the fact remains that Disney would probably rather we ignore all the butting heads behind the scenes.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder!
Number 9. Finn and Rose's Forgotten Romance. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
What are you doing here?
Hey. Hi. I was just...
Finn and Rose spend a large chunk of The Last Jedi together on an extended adventure. More on that later. But even so, a lot of fans were left with whiplash when Rose kissed Finn after stopping him from sacrificing himself to protect everyone.
That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate. Saving what we love.
Of course, it was even more jarring when Finn and Rose barely said 2 words to each other in The Rise of Skywalker, and Finn's admittedly limited storyline was instead focused on connecting with another former stormtrooper.
Okay, wait. You were First Order?
Not by choice.
While Rose's reportedly reduced role in the film likely had something to do with their suddenly ignored romance, we can't help but feel like the backlash to the character also had something to do with it. Or Finn just didn't like her back. Number 8. Digital Peter Cushing. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Your concern's hardly warranted.
If saying it would only make it so.
Recreating deceased or older actors is nothing new in Hollywood. Even so, the revivification of Peter Cushing's appearance to use for Grand Moff Tarkin's role in Rogue One raised objections as well as eyebrows.
Failure will find you explaining why to a far less patient audience.
Sure, something similar was achieved in the same film with Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, but in her case it was only for a few seconds, and Fisher reportedly approved of the recreation before her untimely passing. Tarkin, meanwhile, plays a large part in several scenes. The uncanny valley effect is upsetting enough, but the whole business of using someone's likeness post-mortem feels wrong to many fans.
I believe I owe you an apology, Director Krennic. Your work exceeds all expectations.
Number 7. Canceling Star Wars 1313.
It's a long way down. It gets a lot dirtier where we're headed.
Star Wars video games have often delved into darker territory than the films or TV shows, but fans were especially looking forward to exploring Star Wars 1313, a gritty look at Boba Fett's rise as a bounty hunter in the 1313 section of Coruscant.
As for your bike, you're in luck. You happen to crash onto one of the best repair shops on 1313.
Unfortunately, after Disney acquired Star Wars in 2012, it shut down LucasArts, thus halting production on 1313. Although the location of 1313 would be revisited in the Clone Wars, and rumors have persisted for years that the game itself would be revisited, nothing concrete has emerged as of this writing.
With the amount of detail that's gone into making this world, we really have only just scratched the surface, and there is going to be a lot more to hear about it in the future.
Number 6. The Casino Side Quest. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Canto-bite? No, that's... Maz, is there any way that we can take care of this ourselves?
We said we'd be getting back to Finn and Rose, didn't we? Midway through The Last Jedi, these two leave the ragtag remains of the Rebel fleet in pursuit of a codebreaker in the Cantonican city of Canto-Bite.
I wish I could put my fist through this whole lousy, beautiful town.
While there are a lot of criticisms of this sequence, from its design elements to the mixed messaging on environmentalism and war profiteering, it's the structural issues that stick out particularly for most viewers.
If the price is right, I can break you into old man Snook's boudoir. No.
We got it covered.
Finn and Rose's adventure here is much lower on stakes and investment than the other major plot lines. Additionally, it doesn't amount to anything in the grand scheme of things, since their codebreaker ends up betraying them.
It's just business. You're wrong. Maybe.
Despite how forgettable the sequence is, Star Wars fans refuse to let it go. Number 5. Captain Phasma's Lost Potential. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Sir, the villagers.
Kill them all.
In The Force Awakens, we're introduced to Captain Phasma, a female stormtrooper played by Gwendolyn Christie. Imposing in her awesome chrome armor, Phasma met an unceremonious defeat in her first appearance, getting thrown down a garbage chute.
What do we do with her? Is there a garbage chute? Trash compactor? Yeah, there is.
Fans' hopes that she would have a better outing in the sequel were basically dashed as well. Despite getting a fight with Finn, Phasma receives a final ending falling into flames aboard a half-destroyed ship.
You are always scum. Rebel scum.
Granted, Star Wars characters have come back from worse, but many can't help comparing her to Boba Fett, a character with a lot of potential that was ultimately squandered by a lame conclusion. We'll have to see if Phasma can climb out of her own Sarlacc pit and redeem herself like Fett has. Number 4. Gina Carano Controversy. The Mandalorian.
Looking for some work?
Gina Carano first appeared in Star Wars on the hit show The Mandalorian, where she played Cara Dune, a former rebel that's eventually minted as a marshal for the New Republic. She's a frequent ally of hero Din Djarin. Unfortunately, Carano made several remarks on social media, which caused a swarm of backlash, leading to Disney firing her from The Mandalorian.
How'd you end up here?
Let's just call it an early retirement.
The announced Rangers of the New Republic series, which would have presumably also starred Carano, has also reportedly been shelved.
I heard rumors you might have gone legit.
I wouldn't go that far.
Disney seems determined to sweep any involvement they had with the actor under the rug. On a related note, number 3, canceled shows and movies, various.
There's a hunger for this character to come back. The fans have been waiting long enough.
Disney has thrown everything but the kitchen sink into Star Wars in recent years, so that has left quite a few projects on the cutting room floor. While a few have been reworked as TV series, such as the Solo films based on Obi-Wan Kenobi and Boba Fett, not all have been so lucky.
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss were once slated to work on a series of films, but these were canceled after they signed a deal with Netflix. Likewise, Rian Johnson's long-rumored trilogy of Star Wars films have also likely been canceled, after years of conflicting reports about their status. And given the delays on Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, we're not optimistic we'll see that anytime soon.
Now I found a movie about 2 things I love, so I'm going to see you very soon.
Number 2. The Fall of Skywalker. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker is the hero of the original Star Wars trilogy. To say that fans felt a little betrayed by the direction his character took in The Last Jedi would be quite the understatement. Luke is a broken and defeated man after a lapse in judgment almost led him to kill his own nephew. It's quite the dark place to take the character. And a lot of fans, even Mark Hamill himself, were on team #NotMyLukeSkywalker.
I failed you, Ben. I'm sorry. I'm sure you are.
While The Rise of Skywalker clearly tried to backpedal on certain aspects of Luke's characterization, it was too little too late for many.
The Jedi's weapon deserves more respect.
Master Skywalker.
What are you doing?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The sequel trilogy having no plan. The Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Princess of Alderaan has disrupted my plan, but her foolish act will be in vain.
The sequel trilogy felt rushed compared to the films they followed. And while some fans enjoy the trilogy, most will probably agree that they could use some tightening up.
Where'd you get that?
A good question. For another time.
Mysteries set up early on received disappointing or no payoff in later films, and characters like Finn, touted as major players, are gradually pushed to the side.
Ray! Ray, I never told you Ray!
Conflicting visions could explain some of the poorly received elements of the sequel trilogy, but not all of them. Disney has claimed in the past that they had a plan, but evidence clearly points to a trilogy made without a roadmap in mind, which is weird, considering George Lucas had one and they threw it out.
I have other plans.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.